Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. One of the main quarrels people have with Modern Warfare 2 this year is the lack of unique content, specifically when it comes to maps. Obviously, we've seen some new maps debut throughout the course of MW2's lifespan so far with each new season, but the term new there is not always the most accurate. We've seen a handful of remake maps already in the form of things like Shoot House, like Dome, like Shipment, and quite frankly, for some time, we had more new maps available for DMZ and for Warzone than we did Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, which is a letdown, obviously, for a lot of multiplayer fans. Now, we did finally see a brand new map release with Season 2 in the form of Himmelmatt Expo, and that was largely in response to the community saying, what is going on here? Why can't multiplayer get some new maps? Why can't multiplayer get some good maps? Because the map selection already is very controversial. Some players like some of them, hate most of them, or vice versa, you know? So there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of hot takes about the map situation in MW2, but it does look like going forward throughout the remainder of this first year of content for Modern Warfare 2, things could be turning around and going towards a more positive trend, I guess you could say. Just recently, we actually got some brand new leaks for Modern Warfare 2 maps that have yet to be released. And with this new information, that includes some map names that we've seen maybe before with some other leaks back at the start of the year, then also some brand new ones, we can kind of connect the dots to some other leaks, some other information that we've seen in the past regarding other multiplayer content set to debut over the course of Season 3, Season 4, Season 5, and whatever may potentially lie beyond that in the question mark that is year 2, right? So this information is courtesy of Task Force Leakers over on Twitter. As always, though, whenever we are discussing leaks and rumors and things like that, do keep in mind, take everything with a grain of salt. These things are subject to change. We could see these map names change. We could see some of them held off for a later time and pushed back. We could see some of them scrapped entirely. So this is just leaks. This is just rumors as of right now. But there's currently a handful of map code names and map names that are in the files right now, indicating they are going to be coming to the game in the near future. Now, some of these, like I said, just straight up could be code names. Some of them could be the official map names. So here, we've got Ancient, so some kind of older map. We've got Action Park. To me, that sounds like it'd be kind of smaller if it's like a park-based area, but it's full of action, right? Could just be a code name, though. We've got Cruise, which might just be a misspelling of Bruce. Who knows? We've got Crypto. We've got Yellow Castle. We've got Dogtown. Esports Gym, which again sounds like it could be a potential small map there. We've got Biolab. We've got Exhume. We've got Fallout. We've got Luxury. We've got Tenant. And then finally, we've got Tokyo. So those are all the current map names that are listed in the Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ files, specifically meant for Modern Warfare 2, though. So that's a decent amount of map names right then and there. Now, are some of those code names for remasters? Are some of them code names for brand new maps? That we're not too sure of. But you may recall that a little while back, we had that whole database breach within Activision that leaked out a ton of very broad, very ambiguous content updates for the remainder of the content year of MW2. And when I say content year, just to be clear, I mean up until Call of Duty 2023 releases, whatever that ends up being, you know, in full, whether it's the MW2 expansion or whatever else. We'll talk a bit more about that towards the end of the video, so stay tuned. But that's what I mean by the first official year here. Season 3, which obviously is coming up, Season 4, and then Season 5/6 might just be mushed into one big season. We're not too sure on that. But according to that database breach, every single season has its current selection of new maps that are going to be, released, a part of that seasonal content. Again, new could mean new to the game or new to the franchise in general. We're not too sure. But for Season 3, according to this database breach, we're going to see 3 new core maps, which would mean standard 6v6 maps. That's what core essentially means here, although obviously they'd be available in core and hardcore, so don't take that too literally. We'd also see 1 new battle map, and this would be available for Ground War and then Ground War Invasion, which is obviously the large scale fights there. And then also 4 new gunfight maps. We know for a fact gunfight's going to be dropping with Season 3, and the devs have actually said on record in a call that I was a part of a little while ago that with every new season, they're going to be debuting new gunfight maps. So every seasonal update moving forward should see new additions to that mode specifically. Obviously, though, those maps are tethered just 2v2 slash maybe 3v3 action, whatever gunfight ends up being, right? So for that, obviously it's very limited, whereas the core maps and the battle maps are a little bit more broad and versatile and diverse when it comes to the gameplay you can have on them. So that in of itself is a solid offering though. 8 potential maps for season 3. Then we get into season 4. This is supposedly going to have 2 core maps, or 2 6v6 maps, 2 new battle maps, surprisingly. So 2 for ground war, 2 for invasion there. And then again, 4 new gunfight maps. Now you might be looking at this already and saying, okay, well, the math is not adding up there. Already before we hit the end of the year, the codename maps there is less than the general map offerings between season 3 and season 4. That just comes down to we don't know what maps are dedicated for what from that list. You know, esports gym could be a gunfight map, whereas ancient could be a ground war map. We're just not too sure on the specifics there. So that stuff we'll just have to table for now and wait and see what happens once we get closer to the actual seasonal launches here in the future. But then finally, the last season, according to the database breach, is called season 6, but Infinity Ward is also on record publicly saying we're only going to have 5 seasons. So we don't know what exactly this season will be in terms of content overall, if it's going to be 2 seasons mixed into 1, if it's going to be 1 just general season or what. But according to the database breach here, season 5/6 would include 2 core maps. So again, 2 new 6v6 maps, and then 1 battle map. No mention of gunfight here, so that's a little confusing given what Infinity Ward said. But regardless, that's a decent amount of maps. You know, that is what, by my math, 7 new 6v6 maps, quote unquote new 6v6 maps, 4 new ground war maps or battle maps, whatever you want to call them, and then also at least 8 new gunfight maps too. So the potential for this content that we've been waiting for since launch is there. It's just a matter of, will all these actually release? Will they all come to fruition? Potentially, could we see some of this pushed back to year 2, where apparently, you know, according to various leaks and rumors that we've seen before, we could have some of this content extending into Modern Warfare 2.5, if you will, whatever this sledgehammer based expansion update is going to be. Apparently a lot of the content from MW2 will be available there as well. So it's always possible that they reserve some of this for that. But then also though, if all of this does end up releasing throughout season 5 by the end of the first year here, we then have all of that readily available for the expansion update and Modern Warfare 2.5 or whatever you want to call it, right? So like I said, the potential is there. It's been certainly lackluster up until now when it comes to the multiplayer specific content offerings, especially when it comes to the map content. We've had 1 new map since launch. We've had some maps removed and then later on added back in. We've had maps that are not very well received constantly stick around, right? So this is a big focus for multiplayer fans, and if this does end up happening, we could see a big turnaround in terms of the reception there from players in regards to the map rotation and the selection that we have available to play on across all modes. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled as to what exactly is going to be happening here in the future, whether it's near future with season 3 or more long term with season 4 and 5. Of course, though, as we see any new information drop, any new leaks, rumors, official announcements, stuff like that, I'm gonna have you covered right as it happens. So stay tuned for all that by hitting that subscribe button and turning on those post notifications so you'll always stay up to date with everything going on in COD. And if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. But that is effectively gonna wrap things up for this one. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.